Hey everybody, and welcome back to Board Game Roulette, where in every video I take a random game out of my collection and give a few thoughts about it. In tonight's episode, that's probably going to be fairly short, we're going to be talking about Cinq-O. Okay, so a few of the stats about Cinq-O. Cinq-O is a pressure luck dice game for 1 to 6 players, ages 7 and up, with an expected play time of about 10 minutes. It was released in 2003 and designed by Mark Sargent and was published by Mattel. On Board Game Geek, it currently holds a weight rating of 1.07 out of 5, indicating most players find it to be quite simple to play, and is currently ranked in popularity at number 10,867. So what is Cinq-O? I'll go ahead and set it up on the table, go through a quick run through of how it works, and then I'll come back with a few thoughts about what I thought about the game. Okay, so here you can see everything that comes with the game of Cinq-O. It comes with 5 regular dice, 1 high-low dice, 1 scoring tablet, a case that's used to keep track of which dice you're keeping every turn, and of course your instruction sheet. Now what the object of the game is to get the highest or lowest possible scores on your dice every turn. And whether you're looking for high or low is going to be based on this die here. The die is got faces with 1, 2, or 3 on it, with either an up arrow or down arrow, and whether you're looking for a high score or a low score on your dice is going to depend on which way that's showing. And the reason that you're looking for that is over here. If your die is locked into the down position, you're going to be scoring using the low side. If it's locked into the high position, you're going to be using the high side. And what you score each turn is going to be determined based on your die rolls for that turn. Now every turn, you want to take your handful of dice and roll them. And then you must lock in at least one of your dice on the right, and you may lock down your high or low die. So what I'm going to do is, since 3 is pretty good, that's the best you can get, and with that down arrow we're looking for low, and we have 1s over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in that I'm looking for low dice, and it's 1 or more dice you can take per turn. What I'm going to do is take this one, and then this side here works as a bank. So what you can do is every turn, rather than placing a die over here, you can kind of save one as a backup to use later in case you get a bad roll. So I'm going to place that in my bank to use for next turn, and then I'm going to roll again. This turn I didn't do as great. I got 2 3s and a 5. I'm looking to get as low as possible. Now I can either put one of my 3s down, or I can take my 1 out of my bank and put it over there. And I think what I'll do is I'll move my banked 1 over here. I have to roll again. Oh, and this time I don't have any banked 1s. I did even worse this time, and you have to place at least one of these dice. So I guess I'm going to go with the 5. Roll again. There's my 1 for this turn, and then lastly, a 4. So the way this is going to score for me this turn is that we have 4, 5, 10, 11, 12 is our score, and we're on the low side of the scoring pad. So since we got 12 points, we're going to be looking for 12 over here, and this indicates that that gave us 2 points times your high-low die, which is a multiplier. So 3 times 2 equals we got 6 points this turn. And what you're going to do is every turn you're going to repeat this process, and the first person to get to 100 points wins the game. Obviously you're going to try to do a little bit better than this. If we get 2 every turn, it's going to take an awful long time to get to 100. So let me take one more turn just as another example. But really that's all there is to the game. Okay, this one here, I can either bank that one or try to re-roll it into a higher score. And we have another selection over here where I can try to get either a 6 to start or a 1. Since we have 2 1s, I think I'm going to place one of those and keep it, and place one in the bank. And re-roll these. You have the option to re-roll that high-low die every turn as well. You don't have to lock it in, but if you don't lock it in, you're taking your chances on re-rolling it every turn. Okay, so this time we're showing an up score, which is not what we're looking for. I'll bank that 1 or save that 1. Hopefully we'll roll a low score on this die since I'm saving a bunch of 1s right now. Okay, there's a 1 down again. I think I'll move my 1 over here. There's a 2 up. Oh, we got 1 more roll. We'd better get a low score on this high-low die or else we're in trouble. And look at that. I got a bad roll on this one. I got a 6, but I got the 3 low that I was looking for. So what this gives us is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the low score pad. Which gives us 10 points times 3 equals 30. So this was worth 30 points this turn. Not bad at all. Now another quick couple of options that you have is if rather than trying to get the lowest score possible or the highest score possible, you can also try to get a run, which is just simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you get that, you automatically score the highest possible, 10 points times your modifier. And lastly, if you manage to get lucky enough that on your toss, you roll and they're all matching, say in this case I rolled and they're all 2s, with just that single roll, you automatically score 10 times the modifier and you get to take another free turn. So that's all there is to it. It's 1 to 6 players. It plays solitaire pretty much exactly the same way. The only difference with solitaire is the way you play is you keep track of how many turns it took you to get to 100, and you try to beat yourself with the number of turns each time. So that's how Cinq-O plays. Now for a few thoughts on the game. Okay, so when going over games, I like to take a look at Board Game Geek and take a look at some of the thoughts that other people had on it. And along with some of the ratings, it allows you to give the game a 1 out of 10 rating or up to 10 out of 10 rating, depending on what you think of the game. This game happened to score an average rating of 5.6 out of 10, with 274 people rating it. And I also like to take a look at some of the comments made by people who either thought the game was really great or didn't think the game was all that great at all. On this particular game, we have people who thought it was great, 10 out of 10, and a couple who thought it wasn't so great. With a 10 out of 10, BGG user Shane Richards 72 states, "Love it, so simple yet repeatable fun. 6 dice and a scorecard, can't get better than that." But then on the other side of the coin, giving it as low as possible, 1 out of 10, BGG user Dershide states, "No reason to try anything except going for straights. It's remarkably forgiving, and the scoring is all jacked up." So what did I think of this one? Well, I've played this one a few times, and it's a decent game. I can say it's not the best push your luck dice game I've ever played. Probably, I don't know, right now I'd probably give that to a game called Don't Stop. But as far as what it is, it's a nice little game in a nice little compact package that has some unique play to it that you don't see in other dice games. I would personally probably score it probably around a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's a game that I wouldn't mind just pulling out to do a quick casual few minutes plays every once in a while. It's not anything spectacular, but it's entertaining for a few minutes here and there. So there you go. Cinq-O is a game that is decent. If you get a hold of it, I would recommend giving it a try. Thanks for joining me for Board Game Roulette today, and I'll hope you'll join me next time when I have another video opening up a completely random game out of my collection to take a look at it. Thanks very much.